NASA stopped exploring the oceans, and it's terrifying. NASA started exploring the deep sea in 1958 but completely stopped in 2014 and suddenly began putting 100% of their efforts towards space exploration and trying to get us off this planet. People began wondering why they made this rapid change, but no one had any clue. That was until just a few days ago when a NASA head engineer had been fired and decided to speak out about this. What he said is terrifying. He explained that in reality, NASA had nearly 68% of our oceans completely explored and mapped out. But that's when they stumbled upon something unusual. They had found a cave opening beside Hawaii that leads to a massive underwater ravine which is nearly 50% deeper than the Mariana Trench. NASA then developed advanced submarines capable of going that deep and submerged. On their way down, they saw many weird creatures which exist nowhere else, and strangely, all the species that they saw were nearly 3 times larger than usual. They then continued down, and that's when they saw yet another enormous cave. When they pointed the submarine flashlight inside, a massive eyeball was staring straight into their souls. The eye was the size of a house, and nothing like they had ever seen before.
Shalom, Yashar Allah. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to your hopeful Lekdakim that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, coming at you with a lesson, titled, Leviathan. Scriptures speak of it, and spit out the bones from the meat. We understand that, this may not be exactly 100%, but I do remember hearing this story that they literally did run across an eyeball looking back at them about the size of a house, man. And, through the spirit, I just wanted to speak on this because Leviathan and something that is almost exactly the same characteristics as the movie Godzilla, breathing out that fiery vapor, having the scales, reptilian in anatomy, having coming in the ocean, so this is something that, Lord willing, we get to see, because the Leviathan is something that is also going to show himself, man, not to mention Leviathan and his cousin, because the Lord has many creations out there that he just has in the cuts, just waiting to let out. And he said they explored 68%. I call bullshit, man. Really, you know how massive these oceans are and how many tunnel systems there's a whole nother world underwater. Esau can't even comprehend the size of it, really. And so the Lord has his creations hidden away and tucked away that Esau can't get them, can't fuck with them, and can't, tamper with them if he could. So I wanted to bring another article on this as well, and I do have the scriptures. The scriptures are kind of lengthy, but I did want to get, kind of the carnal side and sense of it, of the background information that I want to bring for this lesson, which is another article that came out in 2021. And this was something that I do remember even the brothers talking about. This is an Indonesian Navy submarine found split into 3 on seabed. And, the brothers always were saying that this was, could have been the Leviathan just taking a swipe at one of the subs, taking, like a claw mark, because they said it was, it was a forced thing, and this is the article on it. It was an Indonesian sub, and it was 59.5 meters, which is about 60 meters times 3. It's about 180-foot length submarine, because every meter is about 3 feet roughly. So this is, something that's not something small. And the, ocean is huge. So this is just another thing that shows you that Esau has been recording these things. And if you don't understand what can be out there, and they to this day, they don't know why it was split in 3 and what exactly happened if you read the article. But this is Job 41 and 9. I could have started up, but there's a lot And I'm just going to read to it because this is exactly what it's describing in the scriptures in Job 41:9. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Because it's going to be fearful seeing something out of this world that you've only ever seen in movies. You know, you see that little Asian man screaming to the top of his lungs, ah, it's Godzilla. You know, that's how these people are going to be in the world, man. Bugged out. Some people are even going to give up the ghost on sight. Verse 10, none is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Because that's the Lord's, it's the Lord's pet, the Leviathan. Verse 11, who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. Again, the Lord's dominion, the Lord's footstool is the earth, as he describes it. So he can control everything in it, the Leviathan being one of them. Verse 12, I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion, because he's going to be giant. And the Lord to this day has been concealing him, because it's not something like that you see on the news, like, oh, there's a Leviathan over there, like the movie Titans and versus Godzilla. They had the alien creatures coming up, and Godzilla had to go fight them. And it was something that was just common that you see on the news. No, man. He's just a legend right now, as the world would call it. But soon enough, these mythical so-called beasts that the scriptures speak of are going to be made manifest. And they're going to be doing what the Lord created them to do, which is be fucking Esau's shit up, lack of better words. Verse 13, who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who's going to, like a horse, you're walking up to a horse with the bridle in hand, and you're going to be like, yeah, I'm going to put this on your head. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, you ain't going to put the Leviathan in chains. 14, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. The doors of his face being his mouth, because you have to put the bar in the mouth of the horse, and its teeth is where the bridle goes. You got to open their mouth and slide the bridle in, to be able to control him if he goes left or right. Verse 15, his scales, showing he's reptilian not reptilian, but he's a reptile type anatomy. His scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. 16, one is so near to another that no air can come between them. Just like scales on a snake. 17, they are joined one to another, they stick together that they cannot be sundered, meaning be separated. 18, they cannot be separated. By his neesings a light doth shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning, which means he got like almost a glow to him. Verse 19, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Just like Godzilla had that burning like plasma fire. That's what this is. Verse 20, out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of a seething pot or cauldron. Like that constant sizzle, like a muffler off of a diesel engine. In the movies, he always had his nostrils smoking. Verse 21, his breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. And they even show that in the movie Godzilla, man. It's Yappa that, that we see the visuals, but Esau knows what it is, and he's just showing these people like it's entertainment. 22, in his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. Because it's a joy that he's going to see these people running and screaming away from him, because the Lord created him to do that job. Verse 23, the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone, which means he's not going to falter. He's not going to get scared because missiles are getting thrown at him. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves, because they're getting ready to battle, man. Even the mighty men that are going to go out and fight against this thing are scared. Verse 26, the sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. Your sword's going to take a swipe at him and break. That's what it's saying. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. No type of weapon, whether it's a projectile weapon or a blunt force instrument. Verse 27, he esteemeth iron as straw, and brass as rotten wood. If you've ever been walking in a wheat field and you take a little piece of wheat and you bend it and play with it, you put it in your mouth, you walk with it, you chew it, that imagine that being a piece of metal. That's what this is to this a massive beast that the Lord created. Verse 28, the arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. They're just like hitting him and falling off. And he's not scared because Esau's shooting all types of missiles at him, And even in the movie Godzilla, I think it was the second or third one, when Esau actually shoots the nuclear missile at the Godzilla, and it actually makes his offspring stronger because he needed the radiation to get even, more powerful. So nothing could stop him. This is darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. Like he sharp pointed things that would hurt anything else. He steps on them like they're mud. Mire's another word for that mud. That's how he makes them soft. It's like they're nothing. Like you ever step in a pile of mud, it just melts in your boot or whatever as you're walking through. That's what this defense mechanisms are to him. Verse 31, he maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. Because to boil herbs, you got to heat herbs up to make teas, tinctures, and stuff like that, to make the oils. But also when he was swimming, he's literally boiling the water around him. And again, they show literally Godzilla swimming through the ocean and all the boiling water around him, increasing the water temperature. So again, Esau knows. Verse 32, he maketh a path. He maketh a path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. I think he's just so much heat. It's even burning things around him. 33, upon earth there is not his like, who is made without fear. The Leviathan is one of a kind. Nothing else is as powerful, as fearful as Leviathan when he shows his face. Not just Leviathan, because Leviathan and his cousins, the other creatures that the Lord has in the cuts. Verse 34, he beholdeth all high things. He is a king over all the children of pride, meaning you think you're a tough animal? A lion of the jungle. Ooh, a king of the tiger. A rhinoceros, even a hippo or an alligator. Those are terrible beasts. Oh, he's king over all the children of pride, meaning even Esau, Edom, in his terribleness, the Leviathan is going to fuck his shit up, So, this is something that is going to happen. If you haven't heard it, it's definitely something that is, going to be part of prophecy and that we're going to see, man. Because Leviathan is spoken of in the scriptures. It's not something that is an allegory, symbolic. There's actual beasts that the Lord has out there in the cuts that is going to be brought out for vengeance in the last days. So Lord willing, this lesson was to be edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful Akim that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom, shalom.